Hello and welcome to the European Parliament in Strasbourg, the heart of democracy in the European Union. Elected by the citizens of all EU countries and working in 24 different languages, it's the only parliament of its kind in the world. My name is Katrina. I'm from the UK and I work in Parliament's translation team. Thank you for visiting us. It's a great pleasure to see you here. On this visit, you will find out what Parliament does and how our work changes and improves the lives of all Europeans. We'll find out how Parliament debates and passes new laws. You'll also get to know some of the people who work behind the scenes, trying to make sure everything runs smoothly. We are a family of democratic nations, which started out with just 6 members in the early 1950s. As families go, we are incredibly diverse, but we are united by our common values. Respect for human rights, for freedom, for democracy, for equality, and for the rule of law. I hope you enjoy yourself. We'll meet again at the end of your visit.
It is here in this chamber where the members of the European Parliament meet to debate and vote on issues that affect us all. Improving the air that we breathe, making sure that our food and drinking water are safe and free from pollutants, protecting consumers and ensuring better working conditions. On these and many other issues, Parliament debates and approves laws that improve the daily lives of all EU citizens. Take air passenger rights, for example. This legislation guarantees consumers financial compensation if their EU-based flights are cancelled or significantly delayed. Because it applies across the EU, this landmark consumer protection law gives all of us who travel by air a level of security and peace of mind. Rights like these exist because we have agreed that some problems can best be solved not on a national, but on a European level. Over the last 2 decades, the European Parliament has evolved from a consultative body into a real decision-making institution. Making decisions about the kind of Europe we want to live in, that is what Parliament is for. To find out exactly what happens in the plenary, let's now hear from one of our colleagues.
Bonjour, bienvenue au Parlement européen. Je m'appelle Pascal Feuillois et je suis huissier de conférence au Parlement européen. Nous sommes 65 huissiers de conférence au total. Vous pouvez nous reconnaître grâce à notre uniforme spécifique. Notre travail, il consiste à vérifier qui entre dans la salle et à maintenir l'ordre pendant les sessions plénières. C'est surtout pour cette raison que nous devons de connaître tous les députés, soit par leur nom, soit par leur visage. Laissez-moi tout d'abord vous présenter l'hémicycle et vous expliquer ce qui s'y passe. Nous sommes ici, au siège du Parlement européen à Strasbourg, l'un de nos 2 lieux de travail, où ont lieu les sessions plénières. L'autre se trouve à Bruxelles, où se déroulent les réunions des commissions et des groupes politiques. Ici à Strasbourg, nos 751 députés se réunissent en session plénière 12 fois par an. La Chambre est aussi appelée l'hémicycle, parce que comme vous pouvez le voir, elle a la forme d'un grand demi-cercle. Chaque député a son propre siège. Ils sont regroupés par groupe, basés sur des alliances politiques, et non pas par nationalité. Sur la gauche, vous avez les groupes de gauche, tandis que sur la droite, siègent les députés du spectre politique de droite. Lorsque nous, les citoyens européens, nous votons pour les élections au Parlement européen tous les 5 ans, nous décidons directement de qui s'assoit dans cet hémicycle. Les chefs de groupe politique, eux, siègent généralement au premier rang, près du président du Parlement européen. Rejoignons maintenant la tribune présidentielle où se trouve le drapeau de l'Union européenne. En utilisant son marteau, le président peut demander aux députés de faire le silence, de rouvrir et suspendre la séance. Pendant les débats en session plénière, chaque groupe politique dispose d'une certaine quantité de temps de parole en fonction de la taille de son groupe. Lorsque les députés votent des propositions, généralement, ils lèvent juste la main, comme ceci, en faveur, comme celi, moins ou neutre. Cependant, le président peut décider que les députés doivent voter électroniquement. Par exemple, si le vote à main levée n'est pas clair, Les députés votent également électroniquement lorsque les règles requièrent que le vote de chaque député soit enregistré. Ils insèrent leur carte de vote dans le module de vote sur leur bureau, comme ceci. Puis, ils appuient sur les boutons ici pour voter pour ou contre la proposition. Sur les murs, à droite et à gauche des drapeaux, vous pouvez voir 2 grands écrans qui montrent les résultats des votes électroniques. Tous ces votes sont individuels. Bien sûr, aucun député ne peut voter à la place de ses collègues et il doit venir voter. En haut, tout autour de la plénière, vous pouvez voir les cabines d'interprétation. D'ailleurs, l'un de ces interprètes va bientôt vous en parler.
Debating and passing legislation is one of Parliament's 3 main areas of responsibility. The others are deciding on the EU's annual budget and democratic oversight of the other European Union institutions. Parliament also has to approve most international agreements backed by the European Union, such as free trade agreements. Parliament has a strong voice when it comes to human rights and democracy, both in Europe and around the world. The debates and resolutions adopted by members help to raise awareness about human rights abuses. They have led some governments to reconsider their actions. Every year since 1988, the European Parliament awards the Sakharov Prize for Freedom of Thought, named after the Soviet dissident and physicist Andrei Sakharov, to individuals or organisations that have made an important contribution to the fight for human rights. Every 5 years, all European citizens of voting age can go to the polls and choose the people they want to represent them in Parliament. The members of the European Parliament are directly elected by us, the citizens of the European Union, and that means that they are directly accountable to us. We can petition them, question them, interact with them online or in their constituency offices. And every 5 years, we can exercise our democratic right to vote them back in or out of office. Like the citizens they represent, the members are incredibly diverse in terms of their ages, backgrounds, and experiences. Some members come from the world of politics, including former presidents and prime ministers. But a huge range of other professional backgrounds are also represented. From scientists, farmers and teachers, to actors, writers, musicians, journalists, and even sports stars. Now let's find out how a new law is created. Passing a law involves not just Parliament, which represents the European citizens, but also 2 other institutions: the Council of the European Union and the European Commission. The Council is composed of government ministers from each EU country and represents the national interests of the member states. The Commission is the EU's executive body and represents the interests of the EU as a whole, independent of any government. A law first has to be proposed by the Commission. The Commission puts together proposals based on issues of current importance. It also consults with EU citizens and other stakeholders to gather evidence and gauge support for potential new legislation. Did you know that some proposals can result from a European citizens' initiative? This gives all of us the chance to participate directly in the creation of new laws. Backed up by a petition of at least 1 million signatures, citizens can call on the Commission to propose a new law on a particular topic. One successful example was the Right to Water initiative, calling on governments to ensure all of us have access to clean drinking water and sanitation. Once the proposal is drafted and agreed upon, it is sent to Parliament and the Council. In the Parliament, the proposal is first examined in a committee. Each committee is focused on a particular area of policy, such as energy, foreign affairs, or food safety. All members sit on at least one committee and tend to specialise in the work of that committee. Each committee meets once or twice a month for up to 3 days in a row, generally in Brussels. The committees debate the Commission's proposals, making any changes they think are necessary. Once the committee is satisfied, the proposed legislation is submitted to the entire plenary for a vote. Here, all members in attendance have a chance to debate the text. Representatives from the Commission, who are accountable to Parliament, are also on hand to answer questions about the proposal. If the proposal gets majority support, it is one step further towards becoming a law. First, however, it needs to be approved by the Council of the European Union, the other legislative chamber of the EU. Who sits on the Council depends on the policy area under debate. If the proposed law relates to agricultural policy, for example, then the Council will be made up of the agriculture ministers from each member state. A representative of these ministers attends the plenary debate. What happens if the Council does not approve the proposal? In that case, it makes any changes it wishes to see and sends the draft back to the Parliament. Then the committees discuss, revise, and put the amended proposal back to the members to vote on. This back and forth can happen a maximum of 3 times before the proposal is either rejected or approved and signed into law by both legislators, the European Parliament and the Council. The two institutions seek to find an agreement, a common position, and their representatives meet if necessary. The European Union has 24 official languages. Can you name them all? Regardless of what is being discussed or debated in the chamber, all members have the right to speak and listen in the official EU language of their choice. This ensures that all members can take part in the proceedings, no matter what language or languages they speak. It also makes sure all of us can follow the work of our elected representatives. This is vital in a democracy. With 24 languages in use, and each one being translated into any of the remaining 23, there are 552 different language combinations. Think about that for a second. This makes the European Parliament's plenary debates the largest live multilingual operations in the world. Let's hear from someone who makes all of this possible.
Witam, nazywam się Małgorzata Jokipi i pracuję jako tłumaczka ustna tu, w Parlamencie Europejskim. Tłumaczymy symultanicznie debaty i przemówienia między 24 językami urzędowymi Unii Europejskiej. Dzięki temu wszyscy na sali mogą śledzić obrady, niezależnie od języka, którym posługuje się mówca. Pracujemy w kabinach, które widzicie wokół sali. Z reguły w każdej z nich znajduje się 3 tłumaczy, którzy pracują w zespole. Na szybach podane są nazwy języków. Każda kabina ma też swój numer. Na pierwszym piętrze widzicie kabinę numer 1, niemiecką. Obok niej znajduje się kabina numer 2, czyli angielska. Dalej numer 3, francuska i tak dalej. Polska kabina to numer 18, na drugim piętrze. W 2013 roku do Unii Europejskiej przystąpił nowy członek, Chorwacja, więc dodaliśmy kabinę dla chorwackiego. Zwykle tłumaczymy na język ojczysty, w moim przypadku jest to język polski. Oznacza to, że język, który słyszę w słuchawkach, przekładam na polski. Posłowie, którzy chcą słuchać obrad po polsku, usłyszą w słuchawkach mój głos. Oczywiście nie rozumiem wszystkich języków, których się tu używa. Nie znam na przykład chorwackiego. W takiej sytuacji scenariusz jest następujący. Kiedy mówca posługuje się chorwackim, ktoś pracujący na przykład w kabinie niemieckiej albo angielskiej, kto zna ten język, przekłada wypowiedź na swój język ojczysty, a ja symultanicznie tłumaczę z angielskiej lub niemieckiej wersji na polski. To bardzo trudna praca, która wymaga wytrzymałości i koncentracji. Fascynuje mnie jednak to, że mogę być w sercu tego niesamowitego projektu, umożliwiać posłom porozumiewanie się i tłumaczyć ich słowa dla Was.
All the debates are filmed live by these cameras on the walls of the chamber. Thanks to the live interpreters, you too can follow the plenary session in your own language on the Parliament's website.
You have reached the end of your visit, and we hope that you now have a better idea of how Parliament works. We also hope you've gained a greater sense of belonging to this great European project. Parliament is your voice in Europe. The men and women who vote in this chamber are chosen by all of us to shape the Europe we want to live in. There are many ways you can stay in touch with the EU and influence what happens here. By visiting Parliament in Brussels or in Strasbourg, or at our liaison offices around the EU. By interacting with your representatives and petitioning them on the issues you care about. You can also follow Parliament online, stay informed about the members' work and have your say. Social media, like Facebook and Twitter, is a great way to follow the work of your elected representatives and of the European Parliament as a whole. And most importantly, you can make your voice count by taking part in the elections to the European Parliament, which set the direction for the European Union. If you have some time left, we suggest you visit the Parliamentarium. You can complement your experience with a stopover at the Alsace-Moselle Memorial to find out about the unique history of a region, Franco-German reconciliation, and the reconstruction of Europe. On your way out, please return your device. It's now time for us to say goodbye. Thanks again for joining us.